Hi and welcome to my channel. It's Kathy. I have a really fun project planned for today. We are going to make these really cute little slim journals and some envelopes that go with them. Every December, myself and several friends go to this little tea room and have a little girls thing. And I decided this year I wanted to make everybody a little gift. I had these cute little poinsettias and things that I had watercolored with stamps and punched out. So I had some fun with them. And I think this is going to be a great project. It won't be too long. I have everything prepared. But this would be a great gift for maybe a school teacher or, I mean, anybody. It's a great stocking stuffer. And the little envelopes are so cute too. And I have a special little pen I'm going to put in them. So anyway, let's get to work. This is fun. It's easy. Everybody can do it. Just grab some of your favorite scrapbook paper. Yeah. Grab some of your favorite scrapbook paper. I have the instructions written up so you know what you need. You need some scrapbook paper, piece of vellum, and we'll just go through this step by step and I'll show you how to make these beautiful little slim journals. So I was perusing Tracey Fox's channel because she put out some beautiful Christmas festive fresco type pages, and these are like, oh, love, love, love these colors together for the holidays. And you know, sometimes I'll do that. I'm like thinking of a project and thinking of a gift for these friends. And I got this from Tracey and I thought, you know what, this is the perfect thing for one of those little slim journals. And I can make everyone one and that'll be a great little gift. So if you have a piece of double-sided scrapbook paper, you can use that. This is on nice 28-pound paper. So the two of these together is a pretty good thickness. But all we're going to do is cut those down. They're 7 by 7, and we're going to glue them together. So let's just do that first. Simple, simple, simple. And there's actually going to be 12 of us, so I thought it does have to be something simple because I cannot take a lot of time. But I wanted to show my friends, you know, not everybody understands what you do in this junk journal world that we all have so much fun with. You're like, what is it that you do, Kathy? So I thought this would be a fun way to kind of show them what it is I'm up to. There we go. All right, so we're going to get these glued together. I'm going to have to let that dry for just a little bit. Well, if I don't go too close to the edges, I suppose it's fine. Because I am going to sew around this. Just make sure we have the right sides. Yep. I think I'm okay to sew around that. So I'm going to stitch around that. I wanted to show you, I got this really fun, shiny green, if you can see that thread. It's kind of shiny, and I thought that was fun to use. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I did this cute little blanket stitch. Now let's go ahead and score it. This is 7 by 7, and we're going to score the binding 1/4 inch. What I did was just score that. 3 1/2 would be the middle, so I'm scoring it at 3 3/8 and 3 5/8. Let's just do that again. And 3 5/8. There we go. Before I get too far, I want to punch a hole in that for my eyelet. And I am using the smaller. I'm trying to avoid the stitching, but there's kind of no way to get around it. And I didn't have any trouble. You're really going pretty close to the top of that 1/4 inch binding. There's really no way to go around, get around that, punching that, but I didn't have any of my thread trying to come out or anything, so I think it's fine. Let me just give this a little bit of some edge here, some vintage photo. I did realize one thing with that circle, and that is when I try to zoom in, when I want to show you guys something close, I can't really because of the circle. So there may be times when I don't use that little circle there, but it is a fun option. And right now it looks like it's at kind of a wacky angle, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. My head is kind of getting cut off there. This was the perfect scrapbook paper for this. I just wanted to do kind of like a little Christmassy type gift for them. So let's go ahead and fold it. And then we'll get our eyelet in there. It was so fun to use that ephemera that I had made, and I still have plenty. So I'm going to make some Christmas cards with some of those poinsettias and that fun. So see, it's just like a nice little square binding. Let's get some eyelets in there. I'm just going to use 2mm brass. I have my colorful ones, but for some reason they don't work so well. Just to give that elastic a little something extra to hold on to. So I don't know if you noticed, we're doing an elastic type binding for the paper, which makes it easy and refillable. And we're going to run a piece of elastic through it. So you just have to fold your paper in half, and you can take that paper when you filled it up right out and put a new insert in, and it works beautifully. I love it. Love. Let's get our paper ready. Now I've gone ahead and got my paper ready. However, I am going to trim that down. I just kind of picked a few different, mostly lined paper, but I have a few different pieces and just plain that I stuck in there. So there's 12 pieces, 6.5 by 6.5, fold them in half, but I'd like to take my razor knife and I want to make that square with the edge because it's going to stick out if I don't. So we're going to just take off a little bit to make that edge square. As you know, when you start bundling a lot of papers together like that, the center ones are always going to be a lot further out. Got it. See how nice that is? Okay, here we go. Let's see how that fits. Perfect, look at that. That is just right. And then we're going to take a piece. Now I like this elastic. I got this at a craft store that closed, but I loved that shiny luminescent type ribbon. It says it's 1/16 of an inch, 0.2 centimeters. With this certain measurement, 18 inches works. I have a piece already cut, so all you do, we're going to go in the top and in the bottom, and then we're going to bring this around. I like tying it on the outside at the bottom. My first couple I made really tight, and I mean this is only a double piece of scrapbook paper, really, digital. So if you pull it too tight, you're going to bend your paper. And honestly, it doesn't need to be super tight, as I found out after I did a few of them. So as you can see, even though that seems a little flimsy, when you put this in, it takes up the slack. See? Perfect. So then what I did was cut that, and when I'm done, I take a little piece of glue and I just put a little glue right there. So look at how easy that was. Isn't that great? Let's go ahead and decorate the top. Now this is the fun part, and this is what I wanted to show you. Can you see this little piece of vellum back here? How cool that is. This is a fun process that I wanted to show you that I kind of discovered with this embossing folder that made me so happy. I took this embossing folder. I don't know who made this. I'm not sure where I got it. It's just kind of a woven type pattern. And I took a little piece of vellum, a couple of oxides, and I put vintage photo on this side. And I put some salvaged patina on this side. I gave it a little spritz. We're going to use that rustic wilderness too, and then put this in here, and I'll be right back. I'm going to emboss this. Okay. So this is very cool. And then what I did was I took a little bit of, I love that, took a little bit of rustic wilderness, Just kind of added a little bit more green. I actually added a little bit more salvage patina as well. Gave it another little spray. And then I dried it with my heating tool. Okay, so here comes the cool part. What I want to do is I want to make a little piece that's going to cover the front of this. And you know how like when you use an embossing folder with vellum, you get these tiny little holes sometimes in your design? Well, I got those. They're like little slits because vellum isn't that strong. But the beauty is I realized it was to my advantage because when you start pulling this, you get the greatest little design. And these edges, now I tried it with another embossing folder and it worked as well, but you kind of have to use one that has a little geometric, I don't know, it might work with something, you know, floral or scrolly, but I was so happy with this little design I got with this breaking off like it did. Look at how cool that is. Isn't that great? Let me see if that's a good size. Yeah, it could be a little bit smaller actually. So yeah, just kind of keep playing with it till it's where you want it. And oh my goodness, that is really so special. I love that. Okay, so then what I did was I wanted to back that with a book page. So I took this old book page and just kind of randomly tore it to have a little backdrop for my vellum. Let's see how I did with that. Just, yeah, that's it. I just wanted a little extra on the back there, so I wanted it to go that way, yeah. So we go to this little tea house. It's kind of like a high tea. It's really fun. And we do like a little swap. I'm sure you guys do that too. It's just a fun thing to do with some friends. I just thought this year that I would show them what my junk journaling is all about and make a fun little gift. I mean, you can make a list with this. You can take notes. I mean, it's just a great little, and the thing I like about this is that you can change the inserts. Now, the beauty of this too, and I'll be using this design, is that you can, it doesn't have to be a holiday notebook. You could do this however you want, grungy or whatever you want. So I am using Fabri-Tac for the vellum. I just think it makes it glue a little bit better. And then I could take a piece of paper towel, put that back on because it smells, and I just kind of don't want that all over my fingers, and that's going to come through those little cracks. Just kind of pat it down like that. So that's my base for my topper, and I love it. Next, remember I showed you I had this little tray of all these little goodies that I kind of mass made after I watched Tim Holtz and Heidi's stamping fun tutorial on watercoloring with stamps. So I also cut out these cute little chickadees. Oh my goodness, they're killing me. I love the chickadees. So we're going to use chickadees. I'm going to use a poinsettia and a couple of these pretty leaves. Okay. So we probably are going to use some dimensionals as well. Let me think, I might have used that other one. These are all kind of the same thickness. All right. So I'm just going to put these down first. Yeah, so just have fun. I'll tell you, I'm excited about December Ember with Barbara and Louise to do a little mass making because boy, it was nice to have this on hand. I'm starting to become a believer in mass making. I really am, because it's really nice to have some fun elements to just grab. That's why I was able to put these together easily. I mean, it definitely took a little bit of time, but this is the stuff that really can be time consuming. But this is, I think, what makes a project. So I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on that poinsettia, and I don't use these that much, but they're sure great to have when you need them. And I don't want to put too many on because I'm going to tuck that little chickadee underneath one side. So take that off, add a little extra glue, and I want to put the chickadee up there. So let's put this on like this. I thought I might tuck him in like that. I might put a little one on his tail. I'm just going to cut that in half. Let's see if I can stick that on there. There we go. Not too bad, but I had fun doing this, figuring this out, and I thought, oh, I gotta show the peeps. This is a fun project. It's a quick and easy gift to make for people, and it sure made me happy. Yeah, so that way this will get glued on there, but his tail can just be up a little bit. And do we need this guy down here? Yeah, I think we do. Does he need to be dimensionalized? Nope, I don't think he does. Let's just stick him on there. Oh boy, this is making me happy. Okay, what I would like to do next is I'm going to add a little extra glitter. Can you see here on my poinsettia edges? I have a little bit of glitter. I'm going to just take some glossy accents and add a little bit more glitter. Can never have enough glitter, if it's the right kind of glitter. I'm just adding a little bit more to my leaves, a little bit more to the poinsettia on the tips. And then I went ahead and this little back woven piece of vellum, I just added a few little hits here and there for glitter. I think it added a really nice touch. So then I'm just using this tulip. It's very fine. That's what I like for glitter. I like kind of the multicolored and very, very fine. So we're just going to kind of go over the whole thing and then knock it off. Let's see. Check it out. Do you guys like this? Oh, let's get in the middle of the circle. Oh, I love it. Love, love, love. I'm going to put this on the side to dry, and we're going to make our envelope. Okay, envelope. Cut a piece of vellum 8.5 by 8.5. Let's do that first. So this is 11, so I'm going to cut off a 2.5 piece, and that will make it a square. I'm going to get my scoreboard back. So now we have an 8.5 and 8.5 piece square. We're gonna score the sides at 2.5 and 2, and the top and the bottom at 3/4. I'm just kind of making like a simple coin envelope, really, which a lot of you have probably already made. And this is easy schmeezy for you. It's just nice to have the dimensions when you're working with a different size that you haven't worked with. And we'll do 3/4. And I wanted to use vellum because I wanted to be able to see that beautiful print underneath. Vellum moves though, as it just did right here. Vellum is slippery. This is 2.5 to 3.25 and 3.25. So we're going to use this as the bottom. We're just going to cut it and then give that nice little angle so we take some of the bulk out. And then the top, I'm going to cut down. You'll see in a minute. And I'm going to cut that middle down. Same on this side. We're just going to cut an angle to that crease. Okay. The next thing we need is some pinking shears. So we are going to pink this centerpiece. I'll pink the back after I've glued it because it just seems to be easier to do that. So let's pink this. And the reason why you score the top is more for measurement than it is for folding, because that doesn't get folded. It's just an easy way for me to measure that. And I think it worked well. So far, so good. All right, let's get this glued. I'm going to use my glitter glue, a bead of glue all the way down the bottom piece and all the way down the top piece. Get that glued. And we'll glue the bottom. Told you this was going to be a very easy project. But there's a lot of satisfaction out of it because it is beautiful, I think anyway. Okay, so see that top? Don't even worry about that because we're going to take our pinking shears and go right across. Kind of line that up, and there you go. So you kind of have like a little bag actually. That dries beautifully, no issues. What we're going to do next is I embossed the front with some gold embossing and added a little embellishment there. So I'm using Stampers Anonymous, the Botanic Collage CMS 447, and I really like this stamp set. It's beautiful. And it's really nice too with the gold. So once again, I'm going to use the Gina K Fine Detail Gold, and I'm going to use my VersaFine Clear Sand Dune, which is a really light brown, and so it works well with the gold. And basically, this is just acting as a bonding agent for the embossing powder. See how nice? And we will just get that heat embossed. There it is. So pretty. So then took my Crocodile and I put 2 holes in the corner, whichever corner you want. So if you do 2 holes, then you can put a ribbon in and out easier. And I've got this really cool mini kind of vintage garland that I love. So I just cut a little piece of that. I came up through one end with it. You can use ribbon, crinkle, binding tape, whatever you have, whatever makes you happy, but I love this. And I liked that pinky color too. And then I just tie it in a simple little knot like that. Let's see. We'll use one of our ones that's dry. I wanted to show you, I found these great pens on Amazon. I had 2 different types. I was going to do a market this year and I didn't end up doing it. And I had a couple of different ideas for a market. So I found these both on Amazon. One is Retro Color and one is Lisbon. But they both have this beautiful little gold. They're nice. They're nice pens. And I thought they would be pretty to put in my little packages. So let me take a couple out and I'll show you the difference. This one is really pretty too. Aren't those nice? And I think that they're only about $1.50 a piece when you work out the numbers. So I thought that was nice. So let's put one together, show you how it works. So we've got our beautiful little slim notebook with, they can refill that with their paper of choice after they use this. We've done a pretty little stitch around it. Some of them I just did a plain stitch, and some of them I did this blanket stitch with a piece of elastic. It fits in here beautifully. It's just like an open envelope. And then let's put a pretty pen in here. And there it is. You guys like this? Isn't that just a sweet gift to give someone? I just thought, oh, that's a little unruly there, but I think it's festive and it's cute. I liked the green thread. I like this little vintage type stuff. I used to buy products from this company called Raygon House at my last little business that I had. It's pink tinsel garland from Raygon House. I don't know if you could find that or not, but it's just mini like tinsel garden, like vintage type tinsel garden. So I would love to just put a couple more of these together with you guys and show you how cool they are. Just very happy. Love the little chickadees. Come on, those chickadees are killer. With a little pen. Right? Oh boy. So let's just get these laid out. I'm not going to put them all together. I'm just going to lay them, some of them in the envelopes and some of them just out. All of our little pretty envelopes, they're all made. Oh, I wanted to show you, I did put ribbon in one of them. So that's what it looks like just with ribbon. But the rest of them, I put the fun little, pretty fun tinsel. So that's my project this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. These cute little slim notebooks with that envelope, that's just so fun. Very easy. I'm going to go ahead and I'll put this in the description. It will be a Google link. Feel free to copy that if you want to make the same size. But basically they're squares. You could do it with an 8x8. You could do it with a 6x6. And the vellum paper was even a square. But I think it would be helpful to have that instruction sheet. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know what you're making. Anyway, love you guys. See ya. Bye.